Hey everyone, welcome back to the realm. We are here with season 5. What do you guys think? Did I do well? Like, let's do jazz hands.
We need fireworks and
Choop, 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 choop.
yeah. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, that's the noise I was thinking of. So we are back with season 5 because we do our beginning of the year season and our end of the year season. That gives us 2 seasons a year. We're in season 5 now. We've learned a lot. We're moving forward. We got so much still planned. This is never going to get old. And we're bringing you the first weird weekly news of season 5. So if you haven't joined us before, the weird weekly news, we would do every Wednesday. This year, we're going to change it up a little bit. So one week you're going to get a full episode. The next week you'll get a weird weekly news because we haven't added an investigation team to our group. We have now expanded to investigations, and we've been on quite a few. And so we want to leave room in our schedule to be able to do these investigations, do evidence review, and record episodes on them. So we want to still bring you good content and still allow time for us to make this bigger and better and more awesome. So having said that, weird weekly news, we all get together. We come in blind. We bring in some news stories, weird news from all over the world. It doesn't have to be paranormal, just needs to be weird. And we allow the wheel of names to decide who's going to do it. But first, let's start off with introductions. Who's here tonight? I'm Gina.
I'm Jenny.
Oh, shoot. They doubled up on each other.
I'm Jenny.
I'm, of course, Rich. So I was muted. I apologize.
Yes, so we have Gina, Rich, Rob, and Jenny tonight. We are going to bring you your weird news. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. So for those of you that are listening on wherever you get your podcasts, you can also find us on YouTube and see our awesome faces and watch some of the things that we pull up on the screen. Sometimes we'll show pictures from the stories. So here is Wheel of Names. We're going to decide who goes first. I mean, before you got on, Rich, Rob was already saying, Rob said, make sure there's half of the amount of Robs on there as there is everybody else. And I said, well, now you are going to get picked. And he said, well, I don't know. We got to wait because of Rich. So Rich historically gets picked. So let's see who goes first. Here we go. Click spin.
Larger pool of people here. So maybe not today.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh. Rich.
Yep.
Rich was picked for his weird weekly news story. So I'll take his name off, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Rich.
We should just let me go first all the time and get that out.
Right?
I mean,
every time.
Well, I could steal Jenny's story, considering she stole my story.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Shit.
Cutthroat.
No.
Drama llama.
I don't need that drama in my life, so we're not going to go there. But of course, we all get to research our stories, and we all pick several just in case someone has the same one. And guess what? When I went upstairs and I said, "Hey, what story did you find?" Guess which one she picked? The same one that I have. So go figure.
Yeah,
so I said, "No, you keep it. I'll find a new one." Because that's
you're such a great husband.
So sweet. Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
Told him, I said,
I know what her story is going to be. It's pretty cool. It's really the one I wanted. So,
dang, that's love right there. That is love.
It's a good one. What's really going to be funny is if it's one of the ones you guys got.
Oh yeah, that would be. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Well, the one I found it on Channel 8 News Now, which is a Las Vegas news site. I went there thinking, let's find out what crazy stuff goes on in Vegas, because we all know that crazy stuff goes on in Vegas. However, the weird story that I found in this Vegas report actually comes from Bellevue, Washington. So it's kind of a roundabout way to get to the story, but I was checking out Vegas. I do my due diligence, find out what crazy people caused any trouble.
Right.
Since I was there. Um,
I had to see if one of your shenanigans showed up in the news.
well, I'll tell you what. People watching there, you could just if you sat down and just started taking notes, you could come up with probably a whole year's worth of weird weekly
Oh,
news.
yeah.
Let me tell you,
Oh, yeah.
there's some crazy stuff. But anyway, on to my story. It is that here's the headline. It's a police report that an inert Cold War era missile was found in a garage in a Washington home or Washington State home, not Washington D.C., Washington State.
Oh,
So
my God.
it's not as malicious as it sounds. Somebody knew it was there. They called somebody to come check it out because it was like a Cold War era nuclear warhead missile. So they called the police because they wanted to have it checked out because someone had got it at an estate sale. How you
Who has a missile
how,
for sale?
how you get a missile? You find a missile at an estate sale. You know,
When
I'm
you're in
thinking
Russia,
yeah, right. You know, I'm picturing, you know, in my head, you know, I watch, you know, American Pickers and stuff like that. I've never seen them come across a nuclear missile.
Right?
But the neighborhood said it was purchased. They're the ones that had called the police, and they wanted to have it checked out because they were going to donate it. The Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, has since offered an amount, doesn't say, for them to give them this missile to put on site at the museum. So the bomb squad was called out. They checked it out. It's even has a name. It's a Douglas Air 2 Genie.
Oh my
So
God.
I don't
Air
know.
2G. What did you look that up to see what it is?
It's an unguided air-to-air rocket that is
Oh,
designed to carry a nuclear warhead.
gotcha.
So this particular one had no warhead attached. There was no rocket fuel. So basically, it was just an artifact.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was just something that, you know, it's not going to hurt nobody. But it's one of those things that when you come across a garage and you see this, I'll post a picture
well,
when
it's
we
got
put
to
the
be a
news
pretty
thing out.
good size.
Yeah,
Like they just pulled it out of their vehicle. They had to have like help carrying it
I
in
mean,
the
it's a pretty
garage.
good
It probably didn't
size.
look suspicious at all.
No, no, what's this thing right here? What is this? You know, um,
It's my new barbecue grill.
so the police said that they doubt they'll ever get a phone call like that again, but it was an interesting phone call that they were actually able to go out there and check it. And when they tweeted it, that they said, and when the police force tweeted that, they said it'll probably be another long time before we get a phone call like this. They actually put a little rocket emoji on there. So,
Oh my God. That was good.
so
That's
that's my
not
weird
something you
weekly
would
news.
that's not something you would expect to hear.
Now
Welcome, Brian.
you hear a lot about barn finds, you know, people finding cars or,
Right.
you know, those are the things you think you're going to see, not a missile. So
Or like those old like Pennzoil signs that end
sure,
up worth like, you know,
Sure.
thousands and thousands of dollars, but never a nuclear warhead
no,
missile.
that's interesting, ain't it?
Brian, welcome to the evening.
Guten Tag.
Hey, so do you have a news story? Because if you do, I'm going to throw you on the wheel of names. But if you don't, you could just be
Throw
a
me
peanut
on the
gallery.
wheel of names. I got a news story.
All right, so I'm going to throw you on the wheel of names. Brian has joined us, so
Guess who had to go first?
Oh, I'm sure it was you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Boy, some things never change.
Oh,
I
you've heard,
saw
you
your
heard this.
story. I saw your story earlier this week. I saw it come across, or no, it was a couple of weeks ago. I saw that, and I'm like, wait a minute, somebody found a bomb in
Yeah.
their backyard.
Yeah.
And then,
That's
yeah,
fun.
the crazy part is I got it from an estate sale, and everybody acted like it was normal. That's the funny part, is that everybody
Yeah.
acted like it's just normal.
Yeah. Oh, estate sale. Can you give me the address? I wonder what else they have. You know,
I didn't know what state it was, though.
it was Washington. It's
It
in
was Washington State.
Washington State.
It
yes.
really makes me want to go thrifting and go garage sailing and to it. Like I've been to a couple of estate sales, and if I had the eye to like know what to look for, I mean, some of these people make
Only
so
we had
much
a
money.
chance to spend the night on a submarine.
Ah,
As
yes.
soon as you said garage sailing, all I could picture was you on top of a
Yes.
garage with a sail. Cruising across
I
the
want to
ocean.
do that. Well, no, I don't want to
Oh,
do that.
no.
Really catastrophic flood. So let's just move away from that one. It's not end of times yet. It's getting close, but
Whoa,
all
how about
right.
Kismet? We both thought the same thing. That's all that I could think of. I was like, garage sailing.
Right?
That's literally all I saw was a garage with a sail on it.
Right? She's out
Yeah.
there just braving the ocean.
Yeah. That's
I
funny.
got. I'm using my siding as oars. Get through. Okay, here we
Garage is an
go.
arc.
Are we ready? Let's see who is going to go next.
Spin the wheel of names.
Oh,
Whoop.
Jen.
Nope, stays in the
All
family.
right.
Well, now you get to hear the other story. And
Yeah.
now the rest of the story.
Well, yeah, because I don't know if you know or not, Brian, but Jenny stole Rob's story. Or
I did not
I meant
steal
Rich's
it.
story. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Rich stole Jenny's story and didn't realize it until they compared.
Hate when that happens.
Sure.
Either way, we get to hear it. We get to hear the
What
drama.
happens? Married almost 25 years. Next thing you know, you're picking the same gosh darn strange news article. So
He's got
he came up and he's
cool
like,
off a little bit.
"Hey, did you find your story?" I said, "Yes, I did." I said, "I think maybe we should talk about this because we may have picked the same thing." And so he asked me what mine was, and I told him, I said, "It's mummified monkeys."
Oh,
I
I picked that as one of my two stories.
Oh, boy.
Thank God
Trying
I
to
tell
bring
you
them in on the airplane.
Yes.
Okay, thank goodness
You
I
did
had you
steal
guys
my story.
two stories. Okay, well you got another one. You may or may
Yeah.
not even get to go this week. So
See?
Oh, yeah. So
Another
I
one
was
anyway.
traveling
I
last week.
picked two.
I was traveling last week and I noticed that there were quite a few dogs at the airports, more so than I've seen in past years when I've gone on trips. So I went looking for strange news and I was looking more for traveling kind of things and came across this strange news on NPR. And mummified monkey remains were found in luggage at Boston's airport. So this was on February 12th, and the traveler who was caught with mummified monkeys said that he had dried fish in the bag. But in reality, it was actually dead monkeys, mummified monkeys to be exact. And the dog was the finder of these monkeys, and it was during a typical security screening for passengers. The canine officer named Buddy sniffed out the dead and dehydrated monkeys from the inside the luggage belonging to the traveler who recently returned to the U.S. from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So
wait, is he originally from Florida?
it did not say he was originally from Florida. However, he is suspect. Just because there are mummified monkeys, he is definitely suspect. So basically what I learned was I did not know there was such a thing as bushmeat. Did you guys ever hear of bushmeat before?
That's
No.
why I read that article.
Yeah, you read the article. But no, bushmeat is actually minimally processed or raw meat from certain wild animals. And so they identify this as bushmeat, and they carry germs that can cause illness, Ebola virus, etc. So he was carrying about 8 pounds of bushmeat, and that's what he was actually cornered for.
I think that's
So
a fancy term for roadkill.
roadkill. Ugh.
Oh.
So the airport agents around the country at different airports and security checks, they encounter quite a few different types of meats. In 2022, at Washington Dulles Airport, they were confiscating charred bat. And in 2019, officers at O'Hare International Airport, close to home, intercepted about 32 pounds of rat meat. So it's amazing to me what kinds of meat people are trying to take through security at an
You
airport.
would think in O'Hare they would have, Chicago has plenty of rat meat to go around.
It's so true.
Maybe the imported's better. I don't know.
But don't try it because they have officers named Buddy, which is a dog. Officers at all the different airports. I noticed quite a few of them. And even in traveling and going places, they're using the dogs more and more for security reasons. So interesting. But yeah, mummified monkeys in your luggage. Tried to make it through, fail.
Did he even say like why he had them? Did it?
No, he
like-
said he had dead fish. He was going to deny that.
Oh my gosh.
They're mummified monkeys. Why do you think he had them?
And there is actually a picture of these mummified monkeys, which I would be happy to share what this
Oh.
picture looks like real quick.
Let me fix this because it doesn't. Okay, now you can.
All right.
Isn't there a song called "Mummified Monkey"?
There is now.
Let's see if I can share. And might look weird for a second here.
It's probably gonna look weird no
all I
matter
got.
what. It's mummified monkeys.
But I think
See?
I have.
Oh my
Picture.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know that guy.
It looks like Jack the
That
Monkey.
guy right there.
Kirby.
This one right here.
No, next to him.
This guy right here.
No,
That
the
is
other
Right
one.
here.
That's
one.
him. I know him.
That is insane. So that's what was inside of his luggage.
Yes.
That's so disgusting.
What's more
Yeah.
importantly, what's the crap next to him? What's all that shit?
I have
Part
no
of the
clue.
remains,
I mean, what's he
probably.
tried to bring that in with? I mean,
It's
Yeah.
that weird meat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for those of you listening on, wherever you get your podcast, maybe hop over to our YouTube channel so you can see some of this stuff because it's quite entertaining.
what's more interesting is the shadow of that bird that's trying to eat something like a moth.
Over here.
Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
It's a big moth, and there's like a bird. Looks like a seagull.
It looks
Trying to eat
like
What are you looking at?
See his
It's
beak?
just
His
down
beak
here
is
in the
open.
left-hand corner. It looks like a palm tree and some monster bird that's going to
No.
eat the palm tree.
No, it's a moth.
it looks like the Mothman's hand.
No,
moth
it's a
man?
moth and a seagull monster.
It's clearly a seagull. I mean,
I hope it's not a seagull because they're clearly inside. You can see the roller belt behind there where they brought the
Yeah.
luggage. If they have a seagull inside. Well, they have
I-
mummified monkeys.
They have
so-
mummified
yeah.
monkeys.
I
Nothing
think
is
Spoiler
anything's
wrong
on
with
sale
alert.
at this point. Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. It's just the shadow from the ripped cardboard.
Oh,
Boo.
Yeah.
see, I mean,
I ruined it.
it's all that debunking I've been doing on watching
Debunked.
videos. My eyes are all ruined. I think I see something.
Oh,
You were going for the
Lord.
funny. Your heart was in the right place.
Yeah, it's funny because
Well-
I was told I didn't have a heart. Oh,
You have a heart.
did I say that out loud?
You have a heart.
Oh, who we rooting for?
All right, let's see who's going to go next. This is our last story for the day. This is what we got time for. We ready? Here we go.
Guess I'm the scarecrow. I need a brain, right?
Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh,
It's Rob.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
do you hear the applause? Okay.
I don't hear any applause.
So I don't know why it doesn't like share the sound, but what I can say is Brian and I are on the chopping block for the next Weird Weekly News episodes. We automatically got to go first, and then we'll put the other names in for you guys to see. who
Crowd goes wild for Rob.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, ready?
Ready? Is that
Devil on trial shock reveal. Can sleeping pills really mimic possession?
Oh, interesting.
So I looked up for something more paranormal. I did have the monkeys was my backup story. So I'm glad somebody did cover it because you can never have too many monkeys, especially mummified monkeys. This
exactly.
came up of the Devil on Trial. It was released in October of 2023 on Netflix. It is a documentary about David Galatzel. I should probably know how to say that name. In 1980, at the age of 11, he was allegedly possessed by a demon, which was exorcised with the help of famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
It's also the basis of many movies, including Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It. So when reading this, it talks about that David's brother, I call him Dave like I've known him my whole life. David's brother, me and Dave were talking. Dave's brother, Carl, said he never really bought the whole possession thing, but we know how Lorraine and
Mhm.
Warren, the Warrens reputation. So anyway, so at 57, Carl, David's brother, reveals that while cleaning out his mother Judy's belongings after her death, he found evidence that she had been drugging her whole family with a sleeping aid, Sominex.
Oh,
Carl believes his mother used the drug to control the three sons and her father, sneaking the drug into their food. He also believes that the side effects of the Sominex are the real cause of his brother's supposed possession, citing mood swings, weight gain, hallucinations as the side effects of the drug. So it does go into that this drug does have hallucinogenic properties, the sleepiness, short-term insomnia, and other side effects may have affected him and may have affected other people who take it, mimicking what people believe are conditions of possession.
what were they on trial for?
What's that?
What were they on trial for?
I don't know that I said anything about trial.
Oh, I thought you said that they were trying to determine whether or not that was
No, there's evidence, though, just from the actual composition of the and side effects of Sominex. They have like some Dr. Kayat, the medical director of UCI Health Sleep Medicine Services and a specialist in another word I'm not going to try and pronounce. In sleep medicine, says that the main ingredients can cause hallucinations in a very high dosage. Toxicity can occur when a dose that is more than 10 times a dose an over-the-counter pill is used. This could cause cardiac arrhythmia, delirium, hallucinations have been reported. So disappointing is that all these great possession cases could just be drug induced, and although not necessarily as humorous as some of the other stuff, I thought it
Well,
was interesting that tracing that the fact that she was trying to drug the whole family to keep them in a docile state. So
and it kind of backfires because I'm honestly Ambien, which is a very popular prescription drug that's given to people to help them go to sleep. So Ambien is like known to even cause sleepwalking, where you're up, you're moving about, you're doing things, don't even realize it. It can be very dangerous. So I could imagine like there being hallucinatory, portions to that. So it's very scary. But I wonder when when people that do like exorcisms or investigate demonic cases, I wonder if they take a look into like the health history of the person too. Like they do like a comprehensive survey of like what over the counter medication, what herbal
They
things do you
should.
take, what do you do? And we actually have somebody, I'm not going to say who, but they will be coming on to interview, and they have some pretty significant background in the world of demonology. So I'm interested to see like their take on the whole world, because I don't know exactly how I feel about it. So it'll be really interesting to kind of hear that and what's out there.
it's interesting they talk about weight gain with that kid, because usually in possession, people lose weight
Yeah.
in those stories. But I do take a prescription sleeping medication, and one of the side effects for my doctor is munchies. Be careful of the munchies. And that's exactly what he says. And I'm like, it's just funny
I
when he
mean,
says it.
Sominex, that's over the counter stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that anybody can take at any point in time. If that can cause those types of things, my gosh.
Who knows back in the 80s?
I'll be the test subject. You guys can give it to me. I'll see what happens.
Well, I'm wondering I'm looking up what the active ingredient in Sominex is, because a lot of these
Okay, it says it, but
has diphenhydramine.
I'm really bad at pronouncing things.
Which is
Does it
Benadryl.
say diphenhydramine?
Yeah.
It is something very, very similar. Disahydramine, hydrochloride. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So diphenhydramine is essentially Benadryl. So like that's the active ingredient in Benadryl. So a lot of these medicines that make you sleepy basically have Benadryl in it, which is what ends up making you go to sleep and is the sleep aid. So so I'm not surprised because some people end up with like involuntary muscle twitching and stuff when they take certain antihistamines. And
Okay.
so some people end up getting like restless leg syndrome when they take
All right. So
Benadryl.
I'm not going to go into detail who it was, but a very close friend of mine's mom in the last couple months was taking Benadryl, and for some reason she was taking like 3 every 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, that's way too much.
And right, and this friend of mine and his brother had to go over there because she was tripping balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Look, some
people in
people
the
shut up.
house,
Really?
people in the cars,
Huh.
gathering up her jewelry, hiding in the garage, and stuff like that. It
Wow.
was, yeah.
Oh,
Like, why would you even think that that would be? It says it on the box.
right.
On the box. I don't think.
Yeah.
So
Some
I'm going to try that this weekend, next weekend.
No, you're not. Do not do that. We do not recommend that to anybody.
No, we
Don't
don't.
try this at home.
Don't do that, please.
We're not experimenting.
No.
But there's definitely a like, because most people it makes you go sleepy time night, which is good if you need to help fall asleep. But for like I know a couple of people that for them
It
there's and it does, yeah. There's and it's person to person, but it's either going to put you down or other people it speeds them up. So I could totally see that. But I would be curious to know, did she start putting the Sominex and all of their shit before or after they were doing the demon stuff? Because she clearly
it was before, and she would mark it on the calendar. Well, the family in she had a journal. Well, the family had their medicine tonight, and everything was good. There's
It
like
just
a quote out of it. It also mentions that they weren't a church-going family until all that possession stuff happened with David.
I mean, let's take for a second, maybe these guys weren't the world's greatest guys around the house. Maybe they were, causing a little bit of trouble. And if you're her, you're trying to get those guys subdued as much as you can each night so she can get through the night. That would just be because she had to do it for a reason. If she was trying to kill him, she would have done more. Like, it just seems silly that she would be doing that for no reason. I could totally see her
Control.
Yeah.
Keep them docile.
Or
keep
maybe
them home.
Munchausen syndrome, where it's like
Munchausen. But I don't know. It just makes me think, because what years were this? Did it say what the years were?
This happened in 1980, the possession. So it was going on prior to 1980.
So you got these guys in the late 70s. That's going to be my guess on what that whole situation was. Is she wasn't going to get up and leave, but maybe she didn't want anything happening to her or anybody else in the house anymore. So she took matters into her own hands, start putting the Sominex in their stuff, keeping them docile. I could see that.
Yeah. Well, that just took a dark turn. Welcome to the home. Well, all right. That's Weird Weekly News for this week. Again, welcome back to season 5. You'll get your Weird Weekly News now every other Wednesday. So we'll have that out. You catch us on Facebook. You can get us pretty much wherever you get your podcast. And you can see our lovely, wonderful faces if you watch the YouTube channel. So I highly recommend that because we do share our screen, show some things, and so anyway, without further without further ado? I think
it is without further ado, but you've already used it once.
I think we had that conversation. Okay. So having said that, if you have any weird news stories, anything that happens in your area, send it over to us, connectedrealm@gmail.com. That's connectedrealm@gmail.com. So stay weird, everybody. Ciao.
Sweet dreams.
Auf Wiedersehen.